Welcome to this post-Chargers preseason 53-man roster projecting, wheeling, dealing, sons of guns. I am Fernando Ramirez. He is Dan and Daygo. We're here. Preseason's finally over. I think that hypes up Dan a little bit more just because he knows the regular season's coming. I'm sure he's very excited. Right now, obviously, the Chargers coming off a 27-10 loss to or 27-10 loss to the New Orleans Saints. Dan, your team went 0-3 in preseason. Worried or
Oh, about the record? The record doesn't mean diddly squat. What's it called? They were over here pumping up the Ravens. They're like, the Ravens have gone undefeated in the preseason for I don't know how many years in a row.
I think it's been like 4 or 5 years in a 50. Might be I don't know. It's like a long time, but they're not pumping it up. I think it's just like for fun. Like,
either way, you know what they can do with their fun? They can write me a letter so I'll have something to wipe with later. It doesn't mean diddly squat to me. Preseason is such a, it's more than anything to fill the roster out to see who your 2s and 3s are. Like, we all know this. It's a joke. Who cares about the records?
It's funny.
When I'm more – oh, my bad. What?
No. I was going to say Anthony Lynn basically used to say that by the time they made it to preseason and the games and stuff, they basically knew who was going to make the team. Up to a certain extent, they already knew who was going to make the team. It's usually those last three or
it's
four
the bubble guys.
Spots. Yeah, those guys that, okay, can you do something on special teams and help yourself and stuff like that? Yep. So that's the interesting part about this. Yesterday, Dan, just a little bit of or Sunday or Friday's game, just a little bit of a recap. Chase Daniel actually did pretty well. He went 10 for 11, 113 yards. He was only sacked once. Again, Joshua Kelly is running like a man possessed. I had not seen him run like this. I'm very intrigued to see if he can carry this into the regular season. Yes, on Friday he hurdled a defender, and he just said this is there's more to come after this. Larry Roundtree got into the end zone. Jalen Guyton with a nice 38-yard pass over or catch and run over Bradley Roby. Bradley Roby's going to be a starter on this team, and the New Orleans Saints kind of threw out their starters for a little bit, and he had a really good catch over Bradley Roby, and it kind of got you thinking, wow, Jalen's looked pretty good in these 3 preseason games, and I know the Chargers have had him play, and it's been interesting to see him, but I think Jalen is just showing more of what he can do, and if Jalen can just be more than just a speed down the field guy, he's just going to improve his worth even more, and I think he's going to play special teams this year too. So that's a little bit of what happened on
getting tongue-tied with the day, don't you? Because it's not Monday, Thursday, or Sunday.
Exactly, it's Friday. It's Friday Night Lights. Fridays are for Friday Night Lights.
That's right, baby. It's for Friday Night Lights.
Exactly. So definitely it's going to be interesting. But Dan, I just want to I want to really go through this 53-man roster projection. I mean, I've been through many myself covering the Chargers for the past few years, and I just want to get kind of see how ours differ or how similar ours are. So I mean, before I get to that though, what's your level? Is there any concerns you had? Anything that you kind of noticed throughout the preseason that you're kind of like, or any positives? Anything you want to throw out there?
Yeah, one of the main concerns, I'll go vegetable first, and then we'll give the dessert out. The main concern is tackling, right? Like, it's one thing not to be able to read or fill the holes. That's one thing correctly, right? But if you can't do the basic fundamental of defense, which is swarming to the football and have sound, good tackling, like that's the biggest problem any team will face, because then a 3-yard gain turns into a 15-yard burst, right? That's a big problem we've had in the past where, like, I think even in the Sunday night game where they set up the field goal, there's like 2 or 3 guys who are like within arm's length. I think they touch them, but they just can't make the tackle. And that's like a big problem. You can't let guys, it's those yak guys, yards after contact. You can't let them bounce off of you and keep going, because that'll kill you. The one desserts, like you said, right? Jalen Guyton's looking better. That's what we need. We need to have more depth at that receiver position and like make sure when he's out there, it's an actual threat. You know what I mean? Like, he's not just out there running and he's covered the whole time. Like, these guys need to elevate their game, get a better mindset. So that way, when they're out there and they're, 1v1 because Keenan, Mike, or someone else is getting doubled, they need to come open for the son of Odin, God of Lightning, to throw a bolt strike to and to march us down the field, dude. Can't have it. Can't do it any other way.
I'm going to advocate still something. I wish Justin Herbert would allow you to be his advocate. You be the Paul Heyman to his Roman Reigns, because I'm sure he thinks he's in God mode. So I would like to see you come up to the podium and you be the one that announces him at the stadium. You grab the microphone and you announce him in front of the millions and
millions. That's right. That's right. I would be the wise man singing the praises of the son of Odin, God of Lightning, the young goat of the league. No one else is better. No one else can touch him. I'm a big J10 fan. Don't you worry, Herbo. I got your back all the way through.
Oh my God, that's hilarious. He'd probably have a lot of nicknames, just like one of my favorite movies. What was it? It was with Bernie Mac, Mr. 3000. The right on, they call the gun, Stan Rouse. So definitely RIP to Bernie Mac. Bernie Mac was one of my favorite actors of all time. Anything with Bernie Mac, I would watch. So I'm definitely there's movies now today that I'm like, dude, Bernie Mac would have killed it in this movie.
Oh yeah.
Can you imagine Bernie Mac in this movie? I know a lot of actors that wouldn't be around if Bernie Mac was like, actors that you're like, oh, you wouldn't be around if Bernie Mac was still around. So.
Well, you remember him in just the Oceans movie. Was barely in him, but he was hilarious.
He's Transformers, where he's just in it for 15 seconds. Like, you see that? That's my mammy. He's like, hey, mammy, and he flips him off. It's just, and like, it's just a hilarious. Whenever he's in a movie or a show, he's just, he's the man, the Mac man. So let's get to one of my concerns. And obviously is they have to be a little concerned about the special teams. And I know that
100%.
they brought in Ryan Ficken to be their special teams coach. But like last year with Darius Swinton, there were problems. This year, obviously, that game against the Cowboys, I mean, I know that the returner was just the dude's fast. He's really fast. I mean, it's like in the longest yard, man. He's when they asked him about Megan, about Nelly, and he's like the inmate guy was like, he's fast. He makes not fast people look not fast. And then he's like, he's that fast. So so I'm interested to see kind of how the chart and there was no starter, or I mean barely any starters in there. So I'm interested to see how the Chargers are gonna do special teams wise this season. I'm sure they'll be better, but man, you can't have another season like last year with your special teams. Right. You need them to be a lot better. So
because at some points in the water, right? This has been a problem for decades, or maybe not decades, but it's been a problem for a while.
Exactly.
We've changed coordinators, we've changed personnel.
I told you I told you when's the last time they were a sure special teams unit.
Mike Cypher, MVP. Can you imagine that? Hey, can you imagine that? They were like, we had great special teams, some of our worst years also.
But they had like Seiler and all these like guys that were just they were bullies. Like they would just run down the field and they would just take guys' heads off and they would celebrate it and they get excited. So those
who was that one receiver that
Kasim Osgood.
Yeah, there you go.
Kasim Osgood will run down. He still lives out here in Chula Vista. But Kasim Osgood used to fly down the field and knock guys.
He was our version of Slater.
Yeah, no,
New England.
Yeah, from New England, Matthew Slater. Yeah, no, he's exactly what that guy or what that was. Then they kind of lost a little bit too when Adrian Phillips went to the Patriots.
Yeah,
he was a very good special teams guy too.
Even a good DB.
Yeah, no, so definitely, and well, he was a linebacker and a DB. Yeah. But I'm very interested to see what the Chargers are going to do on special teams. That's an area that you really need to fix, and I'm going to give my kudos to Michael Davis. I think Michael Davis has really rebounded. And I know it's only preseason, but I mean, any Chargers videos that you've seen uploaded, anything that you've seen where the defense is in coverage, he's had good plays. He's done a lot of good work. So hopefully everything that he said about his mental health and everything's in the past. He's ready to go.
I hope so. Yeah.
this season, and
we're gonna
he's
need
ready
him
to ball out, especially because J.C. Jackson you don't know, he may be out the first 2 weeks. You're gonna need Michael Davis to step up and do that. So those are my two things. So let's get this started. All right, so the Chargers right now, and we're gonna use for the people who are listening on the on audio. Yeah, thank you, audio version.
You're welcome.
I have a Microsoft.
Lob up that assist.
Yeah,
lob up that assist like D-Wade, dude.
I have a Microsoft Word document open. One side says Fernando, the other one says Dan and Daygo. We're gonna do offense first, then we're gonna go defense and special teams. So we're gonna do that. Let's go with offense. All right. So obviously, the quarterback position is one that obviously everybody's gonna be I'm pretty sure people know what's at the quarterback position. But Dan, in your opinion, does Justin Herbert make this team?
You're gonna get people listening over here starting to jump in, what an idiot, yada yada. Hey, everybody who doesn't understand comedy, that's what we call sarcastic. Of course, the son of Odin ain't going nowheres.
All right,
I would
Justin
never
Herbert.
trade him.
Chase Daniel, I say yes.
Yeah, of course.
Wait, I'm gonna go first, and then I'll let you go.
Yeah, of course they're gonna keep him.
I'm gonna go Easton Stick. I think the Chargers keep him. I think Brandon Staley is he's been very excited about, or he said that he likes the way Easton Stick plays, and that both backup quarterbacks bring something to the team. So I think that they're gonna keep him. So I'm saying that they're gonna keep 3 QBs. Oh, little technical difficulties. Okay, now let's go to Dan and Daygo. Dan, Justin Herbert, obviously you're saying that they're going to keep.
Yeah, they're keeping the first 2 for sure. Personally, I don't think you need Easton Stick. Like, I mean, son of Odin ain't going nowhere. The man's made of steel. He lit up a linebacker. His rookie season, the linebacker ended up hurt. My man's made of steel. I don't think. What? Yeah, 2. It should be 2. That's my idea. It should be 2 because you need that roster spot either for a receiver, whatever you want. Like, you need to have, or another defensive lineman, for God's sake. We saw how it was last season. Like, you have to have depth at those more key positions than, at the quarterback position where, obviously, knock on wood, nothing's going to happen to my boy.
Okay. Running back, I'm gonna say obviously Austin Eckler. Eckler. This is always one of the most misspelled names on the team.
Yeah, for real. When I type it in, I always get messed up too.
Isaiah Spiller.
Are you going in that order, by the way? Depth chart?
No. This is just the guys that I think they're gonna keep. Yeah. It's not in any order.
Okay.
I'm gonna say they go with 4. I just think that that's kind of the way Brandon's going to want it. And Isaiah Spiller is hurt, and they don't know when he's going to come back. Yeah. So I'm going to go – they say 4 – I'm going to say 4 running backs. Hold on, Dan. Let me go to you.
Oh, well, I'll make it easy for you. I think I'm going to go with about the same then. That makes sense what you said.
You're going to go all 4?
Yeah, I'm going to go 4, especially if Isaiah Spiller's hurt. Yeah, what are you going to do? They're for sure not getting rid of Kelly or Roundtree. They're picks from recent years, and we've never really gotten rid of picks from recent years. So they usually ride those guys out. I mean, I think that's going to be the biggest thing where it's like they're just going to have to figure it out, dude. Running back's been a problem also.
So I say they do keep a fullback, and I'm going to go with Xander Horvath. I actually wrote a story about him and his story and everything being from South Bend, or not from Mishawaka, which is where I lived in South Bend. He's a guy who was a running back in college. He could help you do a lot. And I don't think the Chargers have shown much with him on purpose, because I think they kind of want to use him more in the offense once we get closer to the regular season. I think we're going to see a little bit more with him, but I think he's going to beat Gabe Neighbors out. And I think he gets the fullback position, and he was a 7th round draft pick, so he's a guy that I think is going to make this team, and I think he can help the offense a lot. So I'm going to go Xander Horvath. Do you have a fullback? Do you not have a fullback? What are you thinking?
They usually do keep a fullback, probably for special teams and stuff like that. But I'd go with the same guy because the more versatile you are in these training camps and everything else, the more attractive you are to the team. So if you can block and also run, that's all you can ask for, right? Like if you need a yard, we can send in Xander and he's going to get us a yard. You know what I mean? Like Lorenzo Neal and those fullback dives. You remember?
Yeah. Okay. Now we're gonna go receiver. I'm gonna let you go first on this one.
All right.
I'm gonna name a receiver. You're gonna tell me if they're gonna keep him or not.
Yeah.
And like I said, I'm not. This isn't a joke. It's just it helps me a little bit, or it helps kind of get everything going. Keenan Allen.
Yeah, obviously.
Okay.
Mike
Williams,
Palmer,
Guyton, Jalen Guyton.
How many do you think they're keeping? 5?
Deandre Carter.
Oh yeah, they just recently. He was a free agent, right?
He's the guy that they signed to be their punt and kick. Well, their punt and kick returner supposedly.
Yeah. So yeah, they'll keep.
And
him.
he's actually flashed on the offensive side of the football, so they're very excited about him.
Yeah.
Are you keeping? Okay. Jason Moore, is he in or is he out?
No, I don't think so.
Joe Reed.
I don't think so.
Trevon Bradford.
I don't think so.
Michael Bandy.
That's the one that gets me. Like, personally, I think they should because I think he has such crisp route running that's not easy to teach. You know what I mean? And the way he can do those, like, I don't know if they're called in and outs or whatever, but you remember the way Edelman, Amendola, and all those guys would run in and then run out in like goal line area, and they were always open. And it's like, I think he's such a good route runner, especially to give him a different look. Like, imagine having Trip or having a bunch, and it's like Mike and Keenan, the Twin Towers, and like he's in the middle, and then he maybe gets lost and open.
I'm not Tom Telesco. You don't have to
go with it to be different. I'll go with it.
Okay.
I'll say they keep Michael Bandy.
He
looked good in preseason, dude.
I'm not Tom Telesco. You don't have to convince me.
Yeah, for real.
All right. So let's go with me now. After much deliberation, I believe that Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, Jalen Guyton, Josh Palmer, and DeAndre Carter will make the team. I can't go with Michael Bandy just because I feel like you already have 3 guys who are going to be in the slot, who can be in the slot, in Jalen Guyton, DeAndre Carter, Michael Bandy, Keenan Allen, Guyton, and DeAndre Carter. They're already going to be in the slot. If you add a Michael Bandy, I get what you're saying, and as insurance, I would just do it because you just don't know if one of these guys can hold up. Another thing is you don't want to lose him. And I know people are going to say, oh, well, you can get a receiver out of – yeah, but if Michael Bandy's shown this much of an improvement after one season, who knows what he could do further down the line. So I'm of the opinion that they should keep him, but I just don't see where you can open up a roster spot unless you do what Dan did and not keep Easton Stick and just put Easton on your practice squad. But I think I'm gonna go with 5. I just don't believe that they can afford. I think they're just gonna go 5. That's what they've done in the past, and I feel like that's what they're gonna do now. So let's go tight end. Let's see. Gerald Everett. I think he will make
pulling out all the bullet points and everything, making it look so official.
Donald Parham, he'll make the team.
Yeah.
Trey McKitty as well. I think they really like him as their God. Who was that guy from the Virgil Green?
Yeah,
he's a lot like Virgil Green. I think he's. I think the what?
You're only keeping 3, right?
Yeah, I'm only keeping 3. I don't think
it's only going to be 3.
I don't think there's a.
No, they're not going to expand it, dude. I don't think so.
Why doesn't this move?
So you can put the same 3 for me, dude.
Okay. So I'm gonna I just there's not another guy that I'm like, oh, okay, this is a guy that they probably want to keep. Or I hate saying this is a guy because
for real. Shout out to you, Chris Collinsworth, for ruining like a slogan that everyone says in America. Dude, it's not like the craziest part is like if Donald Parham could take the next step, he would be so elite. So elite. He has like that.
And you feel like everybody's been waiting for it.
Yeah, exactly. Everyone has been waiting for it, myself included. Dang it! They need it.
All right,
He needs to take that next step, dude.
let's go now with the offensive line.
So obviously, you already know they're keeping the starting five with Storm, including Storm. Or
are you sure they're going to keep those guys?
I mean,
no, I'm kidding. Obviously,
yeah. I mean, no, it's an honest question though. Maybe someone in camp looked better, but I doubt it. If they're getting the number 1 reps,
you're excited about Zion, aren't you?
Oh yeah, dude, I'm hyped. Like, I think personally, some of the most important, like if I had to pick, I'd rather have my inside 3 be elite and my tackles be a little bit iffy than reverse. I need my inside guys to be violent
and that's what Tom Brady's liked in the past. Tom Brady wants all 3 of his inside guys to be elite and the best of the best, and the tackles are kind of like but they can at least do their job, and that's kind of where you've seen
Yeah, because like you can scheme around tackles. Like if you remember, dude, Brady, there were times where he'd have like 7 people blocking 5 or something like that, where only 2 or 3 people are running routes. But he had so much time that someone would eventually come open, or he would just like hike it and throw timing routes. You know what I mean? So you can scheme around those things. But you saw when one of his guards was okay against the Eagles, he lost the game because he got strip sacked.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's like you can't have that stuff.
Okay, so Dan, right now with what I'm about to say, no offense to you, I do miss Gilbert because Gilbert knows how to pronounce some of these names. Yeah. I'm terrible at this sometimes, but I'm going to go with 9 offensive linemen. Why? Yeah. I think obviously Rashawn Slater is going to start. Matt Filer is going to start. Corey Linsley is going to start. Zion Johnson's going to start. It looks like most of the stuff that I've been seeing from Jeff Miller, good friend of the show, Daniel Popper, another friend of the show, from what I've seen from those 2 is that Trey Pipkins might be starting at right tackle. So, hey, maybe this is time for Trey Pipkins to be the guy and show that he really has grown. He's been working with one of these offensive line coaches, Mayweather. He's a really famous offensive line coach who's worked with Rashawn Slater and some other guys in the past. So maybe that's going to help Trey Pipkins finally ascend to that. But, hey, week 1, you get Max Crosby. That no better way to show what you got.
Saw, like, it's sink or swim at this point. Yeah. When did we draft him? Like 17 or
19? He's a part of the Jerry Tillery, Nasir Adderley.
Oh, he was in the same draft class? Good God, it's getting worse by the day, dude. But when he played Thursday night, I think it was against the Chiefs, he looked solid. Like, is this going to finally be the time? He looked all right. No Rashawn Slater, but
I'm going to go Storm Norton as the backup. Jamari. Sawyer. He's the guy that they drafted out of Georgia, I believe, in the 6th round.
Yeah,
he's a guy who I think they're really they like as well, but it's gonna take some time for him to develop. Brayden Hymus is a guy that they had last year on the team that they've been developing, and they're hoping that he could take the next step. And then Will Clapp is the guy that they brought in kind of right before not before training camp, but they brought him in a little bit after free agency, and I saw him starting with the 2nd unit, so I think they're going to keep him. That's 9 guys on the offensive line that I feel like they're going to keep. Dan, is there any? Are you?
I'm good with it. I'm good with it. Okay. That way we can save some time on this.
I just feel like this is the offensive line. I think they're happier with the offensive line than they have been in years. I feel like this is a good offensive line. It's gonna it's just that right side is gonna be the only concern, but
that's the biggest thing. Like, you have to have those 5 guys. It's the same thing as in basketball, right? You have to have chemistry, continuity, or it's just going to mess everything up. There's no flow. There's no communication. You could totally tell when guys are going in and out that it's just breaking down because it's not the same guy. Like when 2 guys double team, they don't need to speak to know someone's coming off. You know what I mean? It's more of a feel. You can feel it.
Yeah. So here we go. Fernando, 3 quarterbacks, 4 running backs. That's 7. 8 with Xander Horvath. 13 with the receivers: Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, Josh Palmer, Jalen Guyton, DeAndre Carter. What did I say? 13, 16 with Gerald Everett, Donald Parham, Trey McKitty. 16. So this is 25 with Rashawn Slater, Matt Filer, Corey Lindsley, Zion Johnson, Trey Pipkin, Storm Norton, Jamari Salyer, Brayden Hummus, and Will Clapp. So this is 25 players on offense.
There you go.
I hope I did my math right. I think I did. Yeah, I did.
Terrible at it.
Okay.
So. Math is not your boy's strong suit.
You also have 25 players on offense. The only thing we differed in was
running back
quarterback. No, quarterback, and you kept an extra receiver.
Yeah.
So that's what you use your extra roster spot for. So we have half of the team basically filled out. Let's go to the defensive side of the football. Yeah. Let's go with the defensive line.
Yeah.
I feel like ours are going to differ. You know what? I'm going to let you go first on this one.
That's fine. Let me go first. I'm not worried about it. I am not worried about it one bit, dude.
All right. I'm going to name off names.
There you go. Name them.
Okay. Sebastian Joseph Day.
Yeah, we can save time, right? Sebastian Joseph Day, Morgan Fox. Who else did they bring in?
Hold on. Morgan Fox. Austin Johnson.
Yeah. There you go.
I thought it
said Megan Fox. Wasn't there another guy?
I thought it said Megan Fox. I was like, oh. Tito. Do you think Tito Agbonia? That's the guy that they drafted in the 5th round, the defensive lineman from UCLA.
Oh, draft picks usually make the team. I usually do. And I think they were high on him too, no?
Yeah. So, okay, how many defensive linemen do you think they keep? Last year they kept 5.
How many do you think? I think that the most they'll go is 6.
Okay, so you have them going with. Okay, so you have 4 spots. You have 2 spots left.
So who do I have?
I think Fayoko.
I think Fayoko makes it.
Okay.
He looked good last year. He was one of our better run guys last year.
Brayden got hurt during Friday night's game, but we'll see what.
We'll see what happens.
What happened? One roster spot left. You have between Jerry Tillery, Christian Covington, Joe Gaziano, or Andrew Brown.
Oh, Gaziano or Covington. I honestly, this is gonna sound. I know everybody. I've seen the Twitters and all that. I don't think they keep Jerry Tillery. Number one, they didn't sign him to his 5th-year deal. Correct. It's like I think they see the writing on the wall there. He's not very good in the run game. He's not very good in the pass game, and they've tried to move him around. Like an effort has been made, but I don't think there's no logical argument as to why you would keep him other than he's a 1st-round draft pick. And you don't want to give up on him. So, no, I don't think he's going to make it. Who did they re-sign? Was it Covington or Gaziano?
Yes, Covington.
I think they've always liked Covington. So, I'll give Covington the last one. So, I think he was even high last year in the depth chart.
Yeah. Okay. So, I'm going to copy your first 5. I do think they're going to go Sebastian Joseph Day. I think they really like him. Fox, obviously, they brought him in.
Okay, never mind.
They obviously brought in Fox for a reason. Austin Johnson, they signed to a contract in the offseason. Tito's obviously a rookie. Brayden Fayoko, I think, like you said, he's taking the right steps forward. He's done everything he's needed to do. He's a guy that the team really likes. And whenever you see any of those like videos on their social media, they're all trashing him, but like in a fun way. Where they're like, who do you not give the aux cord to? And I know we find those videos silly, but he goes, oh, don't give it. A lot of the players are like, don't give it to Brayden. And Brayden's like, these guys don't have the style that I do. So I think Brayden's a guy that's really liked in the locker room. I think he did well last year. He took some positive steps forward.
Especially against the Steelers, dude.
Exactly.
And then he brings time we looked.
And then he brings energy. Like as soon as he makes a tackle, he gets up and he starts like screaming at the team, like, let's go.
Yeah.
Like
he gets fired up.
You need a guy like that, and I think Brayden's that guy for these guys on defense.
Yeah.
I'm going to disappoint you. I will be going with Jerry Tillery as the last.
Oh, God. Dude,
seriously? The reason why is because I believe that that this is probably the most stacked that the Chargers have been on the defensive line. This is the best defensive line that they've had in a while. So here they're not going to ask Tillery to do something that he hasn't done. So against the run, he's not a good run defender
at all.
A run defender. He's not. He gets pushed into the linebackers. He does stuff that he shouldn't be doing. He is bad in that sense. But
not to mention the penalties. Uncle Joe loves bringing that up. That's facts.
Yeah, Uncle Joe does like bringing that up. I think he has more penalties that have led to first downs, I think Joe put, than he does sacks. But I think here they can play him on third down. He can be a pass rusher. He can do some other things. So I feel like they're going to try and keep him and maybe limit his snaps and kind of, because I asked Brandon last year, and Brandon obviously gave me the runaround a little bit saying, no, Jerry's a guy that we really value. We value his production. We value this. We value that. But I think Jerry would benefit from doing less. I think less is more with Jerry. So maybe they think, you know what, and what do they have to lose? They try one more year with him. Next year he walks to the free agent. Yeah, so I think they're gonna try and give Jerry one more chance.
How many one more chances are we gonna give, dude?
I mean, I guess
this is the year. If this is the freaking year we go all in, you have to cut your anchors, like straight up. They've already moved him outside to get one-on-one matchups. He can't do it, hasn't done it. It's like, what more do you need to see? That's why I just don't understand. Obviously, there's the first-round pick stuff that supposedly we don't get rid of guys or whatever. But, I mean, to me, I just don't understand it. If it happens, I'm going to be, like, a little bit shocked because I thought this is the year we're going all in and we're trying to get the best. As one of your favorite coaches said, we have to get the best 53-man roster possible. So –
shout out to ball coach McCoy, Mike McCoy, for that phrase. That's an eternal phrase.
And our boy Bernie. Shout out
Bernie Wilson. Yeah, with he always reminds us about the teachings of Mike McCoy. Okay, so now we move on to edge rushers. Joey Bosa, Khalil Mack, Chris Rumph, and I want to say that they're gonna give another one, like another guy's gonna get, because Kyle Van Noy, we don't know what his role is gonna be, so he might be a hybrid.
I think he was. I think he did that in New England also.
Yeah, he's a hybrid.
I think that's what they're banking on, because I haven't really heard anything much other than these three.
All right, I'm gonna.
Because Van Noy's gone down there before. I think he even did it in Miami.
Yeah. So I'm gonna put three. I'm gonna say Kyle Van Noy's an inside linebacker.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the same.
Are you good with this? Do you want Emike Ebule, Jamal Davis, or Carlo Kemp in here, or are you good with the?
No, I think this is what they're gonna roll with. I mean, obviously, God willing, no one gets hurt. But because in third down,
that's a pretty.
What?
I was gonna say that's a pretty scary duo.
Yeah, for real. I was looking at that right now. I'm like, there's only three good God.
No, but I'm saying like the duo of Khalil Mack and Joey. Like,
oh yeah, of course. But
when did you ever think you'd see those guys on the same?
Yeah, for real. Hey, I saw all the Raider fans right when it was heard that he came to the Chargers. They just play that scene from Revenge of the Sith. It was said you would destroy the Sith, not join them.
That's pretty funny. That's pretty. And
hilarious.
You know what? We have we have a resident Raider fan who's a compa, and Joe Morley, and Joe's always sending me his TikToks where like, dude, he had one where he's like, Raider fans, we just went undefeated in the preseason.
Oh my God.
We're gonna that it's only gearing up for us to go 17-0 this year. I'm like, God,
I saw his video, I think, on Instagram after like the first game. Look at us already letting them know and this and that. I'm like, dude, come on.
I'm sorry, they went 4-0 because they won the Hall of Fame game too. But I was laughing at the stuff that he was saying just because it's Joe Morley. So I just thought it was hilarious. But let's move on real quick. Let's hurry it up with this. Inside linebacker, Kyle Van Noy, or I'm gonna go Kyle Van Noy, Drew Tranquil.
Yeah, Kenneth
Murray, obviously.
They might even keep what is his name?
Troy Reader.
Oh, yeah. Oh, never mind. That might be it right there.
Nick Neiman. No, I think they're going to go deep.
Oh, really?
Because of special teams play.
That makes sense.
I think because of special teams play, they're going to need some of these guys to because right here, Troy Reader. Oh, wait. I misspelled his name. I apologize. Troy Reader, Nick Neiman, and Amen are going to all be used for special teams.
Yeah.
So that I can already tell you right now. So these guys are going to all be used for special teams.
Well, you know what? And then also, like, you can move both Kyle Van Noy and Kenneth to play edge.
Well, I mean,
No, I was kidding, dude. Don't put Kenneth at edge, please, God.
No, I wasn't. So you're the same?
Yeah, I'm the same. Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
No, I was making a joke that
because I was gonna say Amon last year was not good, or Kenneth was not good at.
No, I know. That was being sarcastic.
Let's get through this quickly because we're running out of time.
Yeah.
I know you need a rest after coaching. JC Jackson obviously makes the team. Yeah.
Asante, Michael Davis
Jr., Bryce Callahan.
Yeah, Bryce Callahan.
That's a guy that I don't think a lot is making. People are talking about him enough. I think he's going to be very good for this defense.
I can't wait, dude. Seriously, on paper, it looks like we're pretty solid in all three levels. You know what I mean?
I'm going to say they go with an extra.
Wait, isn't it DB or are we doing safeties different?
We're doing it together, but I'm going to say they keep their 6th round draft pick. Cornerback Jazer Taylor. I think that he's going to add special teams value. He might be a gunner. Who knows what they try and play him at, but yeah, I'll say that they're going to keep. They can't and the thing is they have Dean Leonard, but he just hasn't looked good. He's gotten burned a lot.
Yeah.
Brandon Sebastian also has gotten burned. So I'm going to say they go with 5 DBs, 5 cornerbacks. And then I'm going to go Derwin James, obviously.
Nasser, probably.
Nazir Adderley. Alohi Gilman. JT Woods, who's their 3rd round draft pick. He's a guy that needs to step up when it comes to tackling. He missed he's missed a lot of tackles. And then Mark Webb is a guy that I know that they really like him. He was their 7th round draft pick last year. He made a couple of interceptions last year in training.
I remember that. He got hurt, right?
Yeah, he got hurt during the season. So I think that they're gonna need him, especially because he's a guy that can pick the ball off and he's dangerous with the ball in his hands. Are you same as me, 10 DBs?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good with it.
Okay. So we're gonna go like that, and that is 25 players each.
Also, we're at
on
50.
defense. We're at 50, but we're just missing one more area.
Oh, and yeah, the kickers.
That's already been decided for us.
Yep, thank God.
Special teams.
The long snapper, yeah.
Long snapper. Oh shoot.
Dustin Hopkins, dude, that's the first guy who has looked solid for God's sakes since
They were saying he was missing some stuff during training camp. I remember I kept on seeing, but
oh good God. Those they usually use, I think, for training camp, those smaller ones.
Well, yeah, but I just thought it was funny that
he needs to. I hope not. Yeah, it's not very funny. It's not very funny on this side, Frau.
I know. Yeah, I know. That's why I stopped myself. I'm like, I don't think
I was talking about it the other day. One of the coaches on the coaching staff is a Chiefs fan. So first off, I almost vomited when I saw the Chiefs stuff. But we were talking about my Charger passion and love. And I was like, yeah, dude, I've been there for 3-13 and all that. And then one of the coaches also a Browns fan. And of course, he was at the game when we were 3-14 or something like that. And they were 0-15 around my birthday. And of course, they lose on a game-winning field goal to the dang 0-14 Browns or whatever they were.
Okay, so here's our 53-man roster. Obviously, special teams long snapper Josh Harris, Dustin Hopkins, J.K. Scott. I think Josh Harris and J.K. Scott have been Pro Bowlers before, if I'm not mistaken. So that's a pretty good trio right there. So here's the 53-man roster for the Chargers. The only thing Dan and Daygo and I different is I have them keeping Easton. Easton Stick, he does not. He has them keeping Michael Bandy. Oh, and the other place that we differ is Tillery. I have them keeping Jerry Tillery. He has them keeping Christian Covington. So those are the only things that we differ in. Everything else is the same.
I just don't see it, dude. You say give him limited snaps. He took a break because of COVID. Uncle COVID paid him a visit. Looked the same.
Well, but I mean, and also we have to remember too. They're gonna dress guys like some guys are gonna dress, some guys aren't. You know, it's funny. I've always asked around, why is that? Why does that happen? Why do they only dress 46 guys?
Oh, it's a stupid rule.
Nobody's ever told me why. Like, I've been able to give me a clear cut answer. So maybe I have to ask Roger Goodell himself when we have him on the beat. So
that's right. That's right. I have a whole list of questions I got for him.
So that was obviously the 53-man roster projection for myself and for Dan and Daygo. Great episode, Dan. We're looking forward to maybe what's next. Could this be the last episode? Could we be doing more? Who knows? We'll have something this week. Maybe we'll announce something this week. Maybe we won't. But there's a lot of good stuff happening right now with Compas on the beat. Don't forget to check out Combat Compas this upcoming week. Andy Ruiz, September 4th, Labor Day weekend. He gets back in the ring against Luis Ortiz. What does he have to say? The guy from Imperial Valley, close to San Diego. He joined our show Combat Compas to talk about the upcoming fight, what he's excited for, maybe who's next if he wins that fight. And then also Deontay Wilder, who we used to think was buddies with Andy Ruiz. He went the other way and said he thought Luis Ortiz was going to beat Andy, and it's going to be pretty decisive. So let's see what Andy has to say about that. You can check that out on Combat Compas. Check out our WWE interviews from the WrestleMania event that Gilbert and I went to. We also talked to Triple G. That match is coming up against is coming up against Canelo Alvarez on September 17th, I believe, the weekend of Mexican Independence Day. So the real Mexican Independence Day. So really check that stuff out. And guys, this week we have a lot of great content coming out on Combat Compas, and we have great stuff coming out for the regular Compas on the beat. You won't want to miss it. I am so excited about what we have coming up. Definitely excited for all the stuff that we had. So definitely thank you guys so much. Thank you guys so much for rocking with us. We're excited. Another great episode, Dan. Thank you so much for giving us a little insight. So definitely thank you guys so much, and have a great weekend.
Let's go. Vámonos.